They told you that the secret to burning fat is simple. Eat less, move more. Count your calories, stick to the number, and the fat will melt away. But here is the truth that almost no one talks about. Millions of people do exactly that and still fail to lose real fat. They feel tired, hungry, and stuck. Because fat loss is not just a math problem, it is a biology problem. There is something happening inside your body that decides whether those calories get burned or stored. Something far more powerful than the numbers on your food app. Scientists have started uncovering how our hormones, metabolism, and even the timing of meals can completely change how the body handles fat. It is not just how much you eat, it is what, when, and how your body responds that determines whether you burn fat or keep it. Recent research has shown that your body can actually limit how many calories it burns in a day, no matter how much you exercise. It is called the energy constraint theory. The body protects itself by slowing certain processes to keep energy output stable. So when you push harder and eat less, your body fights back by burning less. This is why so many people hit that frustrating plateau even when they are doing everything right. But that is only part of the story, because some foods tell your body to store fat, while others train it to release fat. The difference has little to do with calorie count and everything to do with how your metabolism reacts to those foods. A 200 calorie snack of processed sugar does not act the same as 200 calories of protein or fiber-rich foods. One spikes your insulin, locking fat away. The other stabilizes blood sugar and opens the door to fat burning. In this video, you will learn the truth behind the calorie myth, why counting every bite might be holding you back, and how to shift your body into true fat burning mode by understanding how it really works. You will discover the hidden factors that decide whether your body burns fat for energy or stores it for later. We will explore how your hormones, your sleep, your stress levels, and even your meal timing can make or break your fat loss results. You will also see how decades of diet advice have kept us focused on the wrong target, from the outdated low-fat craze to the endless obsession with calorie deficits. The fitness world has ignored the deeper truth that your body is not a calculator, it is a living system designed to adapt and survive. Once you understand that, fat loss becomes simpler, easier, and far more sustainable. So stay with me until the end of this video, because the facts you will hear may completely change how you think about food, exercise, and fat burning. By the final minute, you will see why counting calories alone may be your biggest mistake and how to finally work with your body instead of fighting against it. Welcome to our channel, where science meets simple, real-world health. If you want more videos that uncover the truth behind modern health myths and give you practical science-based steps that actually work, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notifications, because the journey to smarter fat loss starts here. Every day, people all around the world wake up and start another day of chasing fat loss. They open their calorie tracking apps, weigh their food, and force themselves to eat a little less than yesterday. They sweat through workouts, count every step, and stay disciplined, believing that every small sacrifice will finally move the number on the scale. But days turn into weeks, and somehow that number barely changes. The motivation begins to fade, and frustration sets in. You can almost feel it, the confusion of doing everything by the book, yet seeing no results. Friends tell you it is just a matter of calories in, calories out. Experts online repeat the same formula as if it is unbreakable science. But if it really worked for everyone, why do so many people who count calories with precision still fail to lose fat? The truth is, the human body is far more complex than a simple math equation. It does not burn energy in a straight line. It adjusts, adapts, and resists. When you eat too little for too long, your body begins to slow its metabolism. It starts protecting energy, cutting back on how many calories it burns because it thinks food is scarce. Hunger hormones rise, energy drops, and fat loss stalls, even when your calorie intake looks perfect on paper. This is why some people can be in a calorie deficit but still feel like nothing is changing. Their bodies are fighting to survive, not to transform. And then comes the trap. You cut more calories, thinking that will finally do it. But instead, your body holds on even tighter. It starts burning muscle, not fat, and your metabolism slows further. The result is that you may weigh slightly less, but your body composition worsens: less muscle, more stubborn fat. You are left feeling weaker, hungrier, and more frustrated than before. That is because fat loss is not just about how much you eat, but what is happening inside your body when you eat. Hormones like insulin, leptin, and cortisol control how energy is stored and released. The balance between these hormones decides whether your body burns fat for fuel or stores it away. And this process is influenced by what you eat, when you eat, how you sleep, and how stressed you are, not just by your calorie total. So when people say, I am eating less, but nothing is working, the problem is not the person, it is the approach. The old method of calorie counting ignores the internal systems that actually decide how your body burns fat. Until those are addressed, the struggle continues, no matter how hard you try. For decades, almost every diet and fitness program has been built on one simple rule: to lose fat, you must burn more calories than you eat. It sounds perfectly logical. Calories are energy, and if you consume less energy than your body uses, it should tap into stored fat to make up the difference. This idea, known as the calories in versus calories out model, has shaped nearly every piece of weight loss advice ever given. It is easy to explain, easy to measure, and feels like common sense. Eat less, move more. Problem solved. But if it were really that simple, everyone who followed it would be lean, healthy, and satisfied. The truth is, most people who strictly count calories still find themselves stuck. They measure every bite, cut portions, spend hours in the gym, and still see very little change in body fat. At first, progress might come fast, but then it slows, sometimes stopping completely. The body resists, and the same strategy that once worked suddenly stops working. That is because the body is not a machine that burns fuel in a fixed way. It is an adaptive system designed for survival, not for dieting. When you reduce your calories, your body does not just quietly continue burning energy at the same rate, it begins to adjust. Metabolism slows, hunger signals rise, and energy levels drop. You might notice that you move less without realizing it. Fewer steps, less fidgeting, smaller movements, all subtle ways the body saves energy. Even your internal processes become more efficient, burning fewer calories for the same tasks. It is like your body setting a budget to prevent energy loss. Researchers have found that our total energy output tends to stay within a narrow range, no matter how much we try to increase it through exercise. This energy budget protects the body from what it sees as starvation. That means when you exercise more, your body might simply spend less energy on other things like immune function or hormone production. As a result, the total calories you burn may not rise as much as you expect. This is why some people train intensely and still fail to lose fat. The body compensates behind the scenes. The more you push, the more it fights to maintain balance. So while calories do matter because energy cannot just vanish, the way your body handles that energy is far more complicated than a simple subtraction problem. Your metabolism, hormones, and lifestyle choices constantly influence how calories are processed and whether they lead to fat gain or fat loss. In the end, it is not just about counting what goes in and what goes out, but understanding what your body decides to do with it. The real controller of fat burning is not just the number of calories you eat, but the internal chemistry that decides what your body does with those calories. Deep inside, your metabolism is constantly making decisions. Should it store this energy as fat or should it burn it for fuel? Those decisions depend on hormones, powerful chemical messengers that shape how your body responds to food, movement, and stress. One of the key players is insulin, often called the storage hormone. When you eat carbohydrates, especially refined ones like sugar or white flour, your blood sugar rises. To keep it in check, your body releases insulin, which signals your cells to absorb that sugar for energy. But when insulin levels stay high for too long, the body switches into fat storage mode. Fat burning slows down, and your body becomes more focused on holding energy than releasing it. This is why eating the same number of calories from different foods can lead to completely different results. The hormonal response, not the calorie count, decides whether those calories end up as fuel or fat. Metabolism also plays a huge role. It is not a fixed rate. It adapts to your diet, your activity level, and even your sleep and stress. When you cut calories sharply or overtrain, your metabolism can actually slow down to conserve energy, a survival instinct that helped humans endure famine. This concept ties into what scientists call the energy constraint theory, which suggests that the body limits how much total energy it burns, no matter how much exercise you do. Your body may increase calorie use in one area, but reduce it somewhere else, like immune function or recovery, to stay within a certain energy range. This makes traditional burn more, eat less approaches less effective over time. Then there's the quality of the calories themselves. Take 150 calories of jelly beans versus 150 calories of pineapple. On paper, they are identical, but inside your body, they behave very differently. The jelly beans flood your system with sugar, spike insulin, and cause a quick energy crash, while the pineapple delivers fiber, vitamins, and enzymes that support digestion and stable blood sugar, the same energy value, but two completely different metabolic outcomes. Your body's choice of fuel also matters, whether it burns carbohydrates or fat for energy. When your metabolism is healthy, it can switch between these fuels easily. But when it becomes insulin resistant or overloaded with sugar, it struggles to access stored fat. Muscle mass, hormone balance, and overall metabolic health all influence this process. The stronger and more metabolically flexible your body is, the more efficiently it burns fat, even at rest. Calories still count, but the type of fuel your body chooses to burn and the signals that control it are what truly shape how fat loss happens. So what does all of this mean for you? It means that lasting fat loss is not about starving your body or chasing smaller numbers on a screen. It is about working with your body instead of against it. The focus has to shift away from how many calories toward what kind of calories and how your body uses them. Every meal you eat sends a message to your metabolism. It can either tell your body to store energy or to burn it. The difference lies in the quality and balance of the food you choose. Start by building your meals around protein, fiber, and whole foods. Protein keeps you full, stabilizes your blood sugar, and helps preserve lean muscle, the tissue that actually burns the most fat, even when you are resting. Fiber slows digestion, balances energy release, and supports gut health, which is deeply connected to metabolism. Whole foods like vegetables, fruits, nuts, eggs, fish, and lean meats give your body nutrients it understands and can use efficiently. These foods help your hormones stay balanced and keep insulin levels stable, which means your body stays in a fat-burning state longer throughout the day. Strength and resistance training are also key. Many people rely only on cardio, thinking that more movement equals more fat burn. But when you focus only on burning calories through movement, you miss the bigger picture. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. The more muscle you have, the more energy your body burns all day long, even at rest. Lifting weights, doing body weight exercises, or using resistance bands helps you build and preserve muscle, which protects your metabolism and prevents the slowdown that often happens during dieting. Fat loss also depends heavily on what happens outside the gym. Sleep, stress, and hormone balance can make or break your progress. Poor sleep increases hunger hormones, lowers willpower, and slows metabolism. Chronic stress raises cortisol, which promotes fat storage around the belly. Managing stress through breathing exercises, short breaks, or mindfulness can make a big difference in how your body processes energy. And when it comes to tracking progress, stop letting the scale be your only measure of success. Your body can be improving in powerful ways, losing fat, gaining muscle, balancing hormones, even if your weight barely moves. Pay attention to how your clothes fit, how your energy feels, and how your body performs. Those are the real indicators of change. Fat loss is not about doing more of what is not working. It is about doing the right things differently. When you start fueling your body with the right foods, building strength, and restoring balance, the results follow naturally and last much longer than any calorie counting plan ever could. There are a few common traps that quietly destroy fat loss progress, even for the most determined people. These are the myths that sound logical, that most of us have believed at some point, but they work against the way the body truly functions. The first one is the old "I burned 500 calories in the gym, so I can eat 500 calories of anything" rule. It feels fair and balanced, like a trade, but your body does not work on a simple exchange system. Burning 500 calories from exercise does not mean your body is ready to process a slice of cake. The same way it handles a balanced meal. Exercise improves how your body uses energy, but food quality still determines whether you stay in a fat-burning state or slip into fat storage mode. When you fill up on processed foods after training, you undo much of the benefit your workout created. The message your body gets is mixed: build and repair, or store and rest. Another popular myth is that low-fat or ultra-low-calorie diets are the fastest way to lose fat. For years, we were told that eating fat made us fat, so people avoided it completely, stripping their meals down to dry, tasteless, low-fat options. But fats are essential for hormone balance, cell repair, and steady energy. When you cut them too much, your metabolism slows down, cravings rise, and your body becomes more likely to store fat once you start eating normally again. The same goes for extreme calorie restriction. When you eat far below your body's needs, it thinks food is scarce and responds by lowering energy output. You burn fewer calories just to survive. It becomes harder to lose fat, not easier. And because your hunger hormones surge, you eventually rebound, binging on high-calorie foods your body was craving all along. The third myth is more emotional, but just as damaging: believing you are failing because you lack discipline. This one traps countless people in cycles of guilt and frustration. They think they need to try harder, eat even less, or train twice as long. But most of the time, it is not a lack of effort. It is a broken method. Your body is not resisting you out of laziness. It is protecting itself. Once you understand that, the whole approach changes. The smarter strategy is not to push harder, but to work wiser. Support your metabolism instead of starving it. Feed your body the nutrients it needs to function properly. Use movement to build strength, not just to erase calories. Fat loss is not a punishment, it is a process of realignment. When you stop chasing short-term fixes and start respecting how your body actually works, progress finally becomes steady, natural, and sustainable. Now that you understand how fat burning really works, it is time to turn that knowledge into action, step by step, without extremes or confusion. Real change does not come from complicated diets or endless restrictions. It starts with small, simple adjustments that align with how your body actually functions. The first step is to focus on eating real nutrient dense foods. These are foods that fuel your body instead of draining it. Whole vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates give your metabolism the materials it needs to work efficiently. Reducing ultra-processed and high-sugar foods helps stabilize blood sugar and prevent the hormonal roller coaster that keeps your body in fat storage mode. Every balanced, natural meal you eat sends a signal of safety and stability to your system, a message that it is okay to start releasing stored fat. The second step is to build or maintain muscle through strength training 2 to 3 times per week. Many people still think fat loss means endless cardio, but muscle is your true metabolic engine. It burns calories around the clock, even while you sleep. Strength training also changes your body composition. You may not see the scale move quickly, but your shape, tone, and strength will improve. Building muscle also protects you from the metabolic slowdown that often follows dieting. You do not need a gym full of machines. Bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, or free weights are enough to challenge your muscles and keep your metabolism active. Step 3 is about recovery, the part most people overlook. Sleep and stress control your hormones more than you might realize. When you sleep well, your body repairs, balances hunger hormones, and prepares for another day of fat burning. When you sleep poorly, cravings rise, energy crashes, and your ability to burn fat weakens. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep and practice small daily habits that reduce stress, like deep breathing, short walks, or journaling. Consistency matters more than perfection here. Missing one workout or eating one dessert does not ruin progress, but constantly stressing about it does. Finally, track more than just calories. Numbers on a food app do not tell you how your body is changing. Pay attention to your body fat percentage, waist size, and how your clothes fit. Notice your energy levels, your mood, and your focus. Those are real markers of transformation. Fat loss is not a straight line, but when you start measuring the things that truly matter, progress becomes visible and motivating. Small daily actions, repeated consistently, are what create lasting fat-burning shifts, not drastic overhauls or short-term diets. Calories are a piece of the puzzle, but they are not the whole picture. Real fat loss begins when you stop treating your body like a calculator and start understanding how it truly works. Every choice you make, the food you eat, the sleep you get, the stress you manage shapes how your body burns fat. It is not just about numbers, it is about balance, biology, and consistency. So now it is your turn to think differently. Which myth surprised you the most? Was it the idea that your body has an energy limit, or that not all calories act the same? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear what clicked for you. If you want more science-backed videos that break down health myths and show you smarter, simpler ways to reach your goals, make sure to like this video and hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Stop counting every calorie, start engaging your body. That's where the real fat-burning truth lies.